Good morning and hey y'all, hey, welcome to another session of Meditations with Marini. And before I begin, I just want to say that today is Thursday, January the 15th, 2026. And I would like to say happy Founders Day to all the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Have an awesome day today, ladies. Make sure you do some service. So, with that being said, if you enjoy my videos, I'd love for you to click like. I'd love for you to click like. I'd love for you to share it with a friend, and I would love for you to subscribe. And so on yesterday, I did a video and I didn't upload it just yet. I'm going to upload it this morning because I wanted to do this second part because something very vital that I felt I did want to say in the video, I did not get to say. And I did a video on, we're going to talk about this dress and then we're done with this mess. And I wanted to capitalize on one of the things that I wanted to talk about at the end of that video, which I had run out of time, is that I wanted to talk about, I talked about Pastor Jamal as the husband, but I wanted to talk about and capitalize in on him as a man. I started there at the end of the video. When I went back and watched it, I could see where I was going there. So if you're catching this video, you need to go back and watch that video to catch up with what this portion of the video is talking about. And I wanted to capitalize on the fact of how they came together as a union. And I wanted to capitalize on, and I don't know them personally, but I know them in the spirit realm. And I believe that God designed that union. I believe that they are a unified couple. And my heart is filled with joy for them because after this whole dress situation, the bond that they now have, the bond that they already had, but the bond that they now have is going to be unbreakable. They talked about in their relationship when they were first dating and they did an interview and he talked about how they were divorce proofing the relationship because they both had been married before. And they have been such an inspiration to me, especially Dr. Kara. She has been such an inspiration to me for how it is to walk out a process and to see her walk into her happiness and her joy. And she's already very feminine, but just since she's been with him, it's escalated to a whole nother level. Her little cackle laugh that she does, I absolutely love it. Like the cackle laugh that she does, it makes you want to laugh. It makes you want to, laugh, and you don't even know what you're laughing at. But just because she's laughing, it makes me want to laugh. And I'm saying that because I talked about in the previous video how he stood up for her as a husband. But what it also did for women like me is it encouraged me to keep standing. It encouraged me to keep my standards where they are. It encouraged me that there is a man that is going to love me like he exemplifies that he loves her. It encouraged me that I do not have to be weak as a woman, but I can walk in my strength and God will send a man into my life who is stronger than me, and he will have the capacity to carry the strength that I bring, and he won't even be moved by it because his capacity is capable of carrying me. And when I look at her, she walks in such an authentic space of her own being. Like, y'all may not see it, but there are times that she corrects him at the house, and there are times that he corrects her. But it ain't meant for us to see it. It's meant for them to experience that together. But if you know them in the spirit realm, if you are connected to the kingdom, regardless to me knowing them personally, I can see those components in their life. And so when it comes to something like this dress and what the enemy thought that it was going to be used for, yes, they made the decision. Yes, she wore the dress. Yes, it was too much. So yes to all of those things. But in the end, God is going to get the glory. This right here is going to propel that marriage into a place that they're going to now be able to sit on that couch, and they're going to be able to talk to other couples about how you bind together. He's going to be able to tell other men how they are to support their wives in hard times and challenging situations. And when I tell you that I can't wait to see what God is going to do through this, I talked about in the previous video, and again, like I said, you would need to go back and see it. But I talked about the grace that we offer to everybody else. We got to offer that same grace to our pastors, to our leaders. The word of God says, pray for those that are in authority over you. Not for them, but so your life. Pray. So the thing is, go ahead and understand that we all will make mistakes. We all will. We can't live in that place. I just have to look at myself. When I got pregnant with my son, and he's 17 now, when I got pregnant with my son out of wedlock, when I got pregnant with him, that was one of the most devastating things for me to walk through. That was one of the most challenging components of my life. Like, I remember holding him in the hospital, and I was feeling shame. How do you feel shame for a blessing that the Lord has given you? And you got other women and men out here that's trying to have children and they can't. Like, God really had to deal with me on, baby, the sin is not you. And so this message today may be for somebody that did not know that the sin is not you. God has already forgiven you for that. You got to learn to forgive yourself. And that's the component that I had to look at. It was not what God was holding me responsible for. It was the things that people had put on me. It was the responsibility and the levels of expectations that I had for myself. And some of them were based upon the Christian beliefs that I had. And some of them were based upon the teachings that I had gone through. Because, you know, in the Baptist church and the Church of God in Christ and the holiness churches back in the day, they didn't teach forgiveness. All they taught was sin, 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 sin. They didn't teach forgiveness. And when it came to this situation with this dress, what it showed me is the bond that God can create. Forget about him being a pastor. If you go back and you look at my previous video and I talk about how my ex-husband used to let people talk about me. That what Pastor Bryant did that day. He just freed a whole nation of women who had been bound by men that didn't stand up for them. And what he did is he sent into the atmosphere the authority for a husband to stand up for his wife. And when you look at that capacity of male leadership, then we'll turn this world around. When men start standing up and being men again, and when I say they start standing up and being men again, when ladies, if you look at my video from the day before, you're going to see when I think I'm talking about femininity, walking in your femininity. You're going to have to step back. Some of y'all not going to want to hear that. But yeah, see, the word don't have no, the word does not, it cuts both ways. So it's going to cut this way and then it's going to come back and cut that way. And when you are really open to being groomed and you are really open to being shaped and molded and developed by God, he going to send the cut. Like, he going to cut stuff out of your life. Right now, he's cutting some things out of mine. He's showing me some things that I need to improve on, things that I need to develop a little bit more, things that I might have already thought I had made it to that capacity. He's saying, I need to do a little bit more work right there. And it's preparing me for my husband. At the end of the day, all the things that are coming forth in my life right now, yes, they're going to be able to be used universally. But these things are preparing me for my husband. And in that, with the way that Pastor Bryant stood up for his wife, I can't say anything but thank you, sir. I can't say anything but I appreciate you. I can't say anything but thank you Pastor Kara for showing us how it is to then even support him. When I think back to his first, I think it was his first birthday that he celebrated after they got married. And he was standing there and she was praying. She was standing behind him and the tears were just rolling down his face. And I feel a little bit emotional now because so many of us can sit back and talk about somebody, but we have no clue what that person has actually gone through. We have no clue how much suffering they've had. And when you in leadership positions like that, you take the hit for everybody. You take the hit. If you are a true leader, if it's a true man that is in leadership, he takes the hit for everybody. So when he comes home, he don't want to have to come home and deal with that being a hit as well. So to have a woman in your life that after you've gone into battle and everybody has said something about you and everybody has vandalized your name and everybody has, criticized you, to come home, you want a soft space to land. I know most men don't want you to know that they got a soft space, but that's what they want. And that's what women such as myself and such as her, she models, in my opinion, how we need to do that. And if you tap into her spiritually, if you tap into the spirit realm, you can then channel that same energy into your life. So one of the things that I know, my husband, he gonna be spoiled in so many ways. And a lot of people think that it boils down to just sex. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. Nothing. It does, but it doesn't. So I want to make sure I'm clear on that because it's going to be a lot of that since I've waited. Anyway, okay, y'all, I just had to get that out. I'm here at the building and I'm here a few minutes early, but oh man, I can't mess up my makeup today because I got to be cute. Got to be a pretty girl. So anyway, I just want you guys to know that we are going to cover them in prayer. We are going to continue to walk out what God has called us all to walk out. Let this be a moment that we all reflect. I'm going in my own closet and see what I might need to, move around. Might not get rid of it because some of it just might be for my husband when he does come. I'm going to have a dress that's going to be a mess for him. Okay, y'all, have a good day. Click like. I'd love for you to share it with a friend. And then if you don't mind, subscribe. Have an awesome day, y'all. Bye.